All right, David. Always, David, are you doing the next report too? You're going to.
Jeff Sronkoski is here. Okay. And he is.
That's not the one, Dave.
Cafeteria first.
It's up on the top.
Just everybody knows Jeff Sronkoski. For those who don't, he is our lead architect, manager of all of our architectural team for the master plan. We bring updates on major projects and buildings when we are at certain points. We always, generally the three big areas of what we're doing programmatically in a building, when we move into schematic design, and that's when you get a sense of what it's going to look like, the rendering. And so we'd like to show you that. And then the next time you'll be hearing about this is when we go out to bid, and Jeff's going to talk a little bit about that. So tonight he's going to talk about our first big project, which is the core of the campus. But primarily what you are all going to see is the cafeteria, and then also the addition to Southlake. Jeff?
Thanks, Dave. Good evening, everyone. And this represents the completion of the schematic design phase. If you remember, it's the first of 3 phases, so we're not anywhere near to going out to bid yet. But just an update on the budget and schedule for each one. I'm going to try to do these both in 5 minutes. For the Grayslake Campus core, the building is going to be going right outside the window here. It's going to go out for bid in the spring. Construction will begin later in the spring, say right after graduation. In terms of the budget right now, Mortensen Construction advises the college that we're within about 5 to 7% of the budget, and so they have advised that we can move into the design development phase where we are right now. So with contingencies that they have built in and everything, they're comfortable moving ahead. Obviously, we have to keep an eye on as the design gets refined in the design development phase, and then into the construction documents phase, that we're always watching the budget, and Mortensen's helping us do that. So just to get your bearings on campus, okay, here's the main entry to the college. The existing checkerboard court is right here, which will be enclosing. The existing student commons area is right here. This is A wing, this is B wing. Okay, so north is up. And you'll see one thing in the student commons right here, there is no stair. So just a reminder that central stair is going to be removed, and we'll be replacing it with a stair off to the side here that goes up to the 2nd floor. Okay, so it will provide a much more usable space in the student commons. As part of the enclosure of the checkerboard court and a little bit of remodeling beyond, we've got student activities here. Trustee Bella was on this committee here for the student activities, and then we have the bookstore that'll be coming up from the lower level to this area here in a student street that connects it all.
The electronic bookstore.
The electronic, it's a very flexible bookstore to meet future needs of the bookstore. Yes. And so circulation will remain the same. Student commons will remain a flexible space. And then we'll get to what we really wanted to talk about today, and that is the addition of the cafeteria dining area right here and food service. Food service is a combination of a modest-sized kitchen area right here and a servery. And then this is that little grab and go that David just referenced here. That'll be open after hours, say when the servery here is closed. Grab and go would still be open to students in the dining area, might be studying, what have you. Obviously, the big idea is the cafeteria is now out of the lower level. It's got natural light, much better access. It's literally in the center of the campus and much more desirable for all the functions concerned. There's about 300 seats that are shown right here in the addition. And obviously, more seats and tables could be set up in the student commons area to increase that number. There is a lower level This area, by the way, is about 10,000 square feet on this addition. There is a lower area, lower level of about 8,000 square feet for mechanical equipment, not just for the cafeteria, but for the geothermal system that's coming into the building and integrating with new systems that we're providing in A and B wing as part of the A and B remodeling project. So the lower level of this, which is almost a full basement, is providing as a great enabler project, for the rest of the A and B renovations, which we're also working on. They're not presenting tonight. There is as you know, the loading dock for food service deliveries is way down here at the south end of Building C, and that will remain the same. Deliveries will come in for food deliveries here and come through the C wing, through the B wing, at the lower level, and then come up at a new elevator, which is right here. So on the north end of the A wing, so we're taking a little triangle of what's now the admission space for a new elevator, and that will get us into the kitchen and servery areas there.
Your office, Rich.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah. So, okay. So that's just to get your bearings here, and we are right now. We're in the boardroom is right about in this location, but up on the second floor. This is the first floor, so the new addition is right outside where we're sitting right now. So bird's eye view, this is what you might see if you're a hawk flying over the lake. And so you see materials, these are metal panels. That would be a color that would be complementary to your existing blend of brick here at the college. And so you see a very simple, yet hopefully elegant pavilion-type building at the center of campus. And the whole idea is for it to be a special place. As you
Jeff,
zoom,
you said that it has seating for like 300?
Yes.
How does that compare to the old cafeteria? Do you know what the old cafeteria was?
I was going to say,
Twice.
it's probably 150.
Twice as big?
twice the amount of seats. Yeah.
Jeff, I noticed there's kind of an elevation here.
Yes,
Can you
there is.
talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I can. And let me get to the next slide here as we zoom in. Now this is a ground level shot. And so, yes, this is about a 5-foot difference from the existing first floor. Obviously, the cafeteria will be at the same first floor as the rest of the main level of A and B. But there is about a 5-foot difference coming down to these series of walks, which would connect you to the C wing lower level here, to the Veterans Memorial down this way, and then to the library patio area here. So it's about 10 steps that we have to provide to negotiate. It does slope down to the lake. Okay, the site is sloping down. You don't really notice it that much, but so we've got to provide for that transition here, and we're doing it with a little terraced area and a little outdoor patio seating area for students as well.
And that piece on the side is the handicap ramp, I take it, accessibility on the north side?
We're not showing a handicap ramp right now. They're both
okay.
stairs. However, we have looked at this area, and we're not showing it right now because we don't think we can afford it. But we do have handicap accessibility, if I can go back to the floor plan, okay, right out the side of the north side of the building here. So coming around here. So the area I was talking about for the ramp, if we can't afford one, it would go right in this area. We have modeled it
No,
already.
I was referring to that on the north side.
On the north,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That's just, it's really a sidewalk, and
Yeah.
there's enough length to get a good slope and down to the lake, to the Veterans Memorial, and connect up with all the other areas.
That's where one of the things that came out of the master plan that we're still able to accomplish is that there is a seamless floor transition now from the front door all the way to the end of the
Yeah.
cafeteria, where now, if you call you go down into,
Yeah.
we call it the Robin or Petri William, right? Which, and there's, actually students can't get out through that space now. Jake will be able to.
There you go.
Did you just get that, Rich?
Yeah.
So this whole student commons area will be brought up to the same level. Right now, I think it's 3 steps, 3 risers that go down to that area. And literally, when you now come in the main entry, after you park your car at your spots, trustees, you come in, and you'll be able to literally see all the way down through and down to the
Very nice. Now, on these pictures, you're showing nothing on the roof, especially over where the kitchen is. Obviously, there's going to be some air handling up there.
Allow me to explain that. Yes, so on the kitchen roof here, we will have some exhaust fans on here. There is a major unit that needs to go on the roof here, and it's shown right here, okay? And so we're putting it on the connecting link, which is new construction, between the dining area and the existing student commons area, okay? It is a sizable unit. We did investigate putting it inside the building, but again, costs drove us to place it on the roof. So we think we're putting it in the most unobtrusive spot. It's the most hidden spot, so you're not looking right out a window at that unit. You will be able to see it when looking out here. As you look down that way, okay, it'll be right over there on the lower roof.
Do we have anything around it? Any kind of shielding or anything around it?
We can put something around it, and you'll see on the Southlake presentation coming up that we have shown that because it's a larger area there. But yes, it will be screened.
We don't want to see the mechanics out this way.
Well, put it in front of Richie Payne's office.
Yeah. In the elevator. They have really short meetings.
Jeff, I mean, I'm half kidding about that, but you do need to cover it with a shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want that exposed.
Need to cover what?
This is where you
A
get
shelter.
over
A
it.
shelter or something.
And you'll see in another view, we've kind of indicated that on the last view for this presentation here.
Jeff, in the cafeteria part there, is there any kind of, for lack of a better term, room dividers? So let's say if we as a board, wanted to have our finance retreat there, that we could have our own, somehow private, separate room kind of thing, as opposed, is that something we thought about?
I'm not sure if that was ever discussed, but we don't have it in there now.
That's something we might want to,
I would definitely be interested, and I'm interested in it in terms of like study groups or like maybe groups of students who would be interested in having lunch, but any kind of privacy or any kind of a conversation that when I first looked at it, I thought, oh wow, it's all just one big room. There's no nooks or
We'll have,
anything like that.
I will say that some of the seating that we're proposing here, you have here, it's called the Dix system, and these are the 6 tops, and they have these high backs, and so they provide some semi-private seating capability, but it's not a room divider. Okay, they have large backs that come up to about this height. You've probably seen them in other colleges, and so we've got some of those incorporated in here, but they are limited.
And Jeff, what was presented to the board in the master plan was a future conversion of Lancers into the culinary space from the high school campus, an expansion of what Prairie is, so that it would be a larger restaurant space for the students and hopefully connected to conventions, larger meetings in the county, conferences that could be held here. But that was the space that was designated to stay for those types of activities.
yeah, if you imagine that area, so that we still have the kitchens there, all that. We could do something creative with spaces there and some other things. So we'll work on that, and then we'll tie into the culinary.
Can we go back to something? Can we go back to the mechanical on the roof?
Yeah.
Can we go back to that and see if there's another option? Because we're at the stage now where at least we can discuss possibly going in a different direction. And, maybe if it turns out that it costs more money, maybe we should hear about that, because I think we should consider it. Because having it on the roof becomes an aesthetic issue that becomes then a permanent aesthetic problem. And an alternative would be preferable for sure if we could do it.
And why is there so much mechanics on there if we're going to do this with geothermal? What mechanics do you need?
Well, you still need an air handling unit that moves the air. Okay, so yes, it's really a large heat pump, and it still provides cooling.
It's just going to move the air, because the air is going to come through the underground, the geothermal system. So